Hello and welcome to this video about the IELTS test. I'm Preetinder Kaur for Perfect Scores. This is our Facebook page, our email address, and this is our website address. So this is going to be the first video and this is an introductory video on the IELTS test. So in this one, I'm just going to give you a general overview of what is the IELTS test. So the IELTS over here, it stands for International English Language Testing System. Now, this test is accepted by universities in these four areas. So by Australian universities, by universities in New Zealand, in Canada and in UK. And this test is jointly managed by three organizations. The first one is British Council. The second one is IDP Australia. And the third one is Cambridge English Language Assessment. So now let's move on to what is there in the test and how do you get the results of the test. So the test basically has four sections. The first section is going to be a listening section. So you listen to recordings and you answer questions, and we'll be discussing about these sections in detail in later videos. This is just a general overview. So then there's a listening section and then there's a reading section. Now the listening section is common for every test taker, but the reading section is different. So there is an academic format of the IELTS test, and that is for students who are trying to go on a study visa or on a student visa. So that is known as the academic reading section. And then there are students of the IELTS test takers who are just going for migration purposes, not for studying. So for them, there's a general version of the test, and they give the general reading section. Now the time for both of these reading sections is 60 minutes. For the listening section, it is approximately 40 minutes. For the reading sections, it's exactly 60 minutes. After the reading, the next section that is present is the writing section. In the writing section, there are two tasks. And again, the reading, just like reading, the writing section for the academic test takers is different from the writing that is given by the general test takers. But the total time is still the same. Now this is what happens in one sitting of the test. You don't get any breaks in between. You have to spend these 2 hours and 40 minutes in taking care of these three sections. And after that, your first test appointment is done. And after you've done this, maybe on the same day, but most probably on a different date altogether, there is the fourth section, which is the speaking section. Speaking section does not differ between general and academic. It just differs from student to student. But it's pretty standardized, and we'll be discussing about the structure in a later video. But the speaking section, it's more like a face-to-face personal interview that is taken on a one-to-one basis, and that lasts for 15 minutes. So this is more like an interview appointment. So that is about the structure of the test. Now, about the scoring. Although there is another video that takes care of the details about how the scoring is done, but just for reference purposes, in these four sections, listening, reading, writing, and speaking, whatever score you get is converted into a score through which you are placed into a band. So you can be placed from 0 to 9 in listening, 0 to 9 in reading, 0 to 9 in writing, and 0 to 9 in speaking. Remember, these are not scores, these are bands, and the average of them is taken as your final IELTS score. So unlike scoring, for example, if you get 40 out of 40 or 39 out of 40, it does not work like that in bands. Bands means ranges. So for example, these are the different ranges that a student can belong to whenever he's trying to establish the proficiency in any English language. So rather than scores, the student is fitted in one of these bands, either this band or this band or this band, so on and so forth. Now, about the test result. The test result is usually declared 13 calendar days after the test has been taken. And the test result is given out in the form of a test report form, also known as a TRF. And an important thing to know is that the score is valid for 2 years from the date that the test was taken. And that is about the test result. And what we've done in this video is described what the IELTS test is, where is it accepted, how is it managed, what are the skills that are tested, what is the scoring, how do you take care of the test results, and what are the two formats. So they are general and academic. So in the next video, we are going to talk about in detail, and we are going to talk about the registration information. How do you actually register for the test? So thank you for watching this video.